Jesus tells us that the kingdom of heaven can transform you, and it truly is more than meets the eye. We're in a message series taking a look at the kingdom of heaven and some of the little parables that Jesus tells in Matthew chapter 13. Matthew is the first book of the New Testament. And so Matthew includes some of these things that nobody else in the Gospels, in the first 4 books of the Bible, includes. And here we go. This is a great one. Matthew 13:33. Jesus also uses this illustration. The kingdom of heaven is like the yeast a woman used in making bread. Even though she put only a little yeast in 3 measures of flour, it permeated every part of the dough. So once again, Jesus is using an everyday situation, and he looks around, and he would have seen this over and over and over again. In the courtyards, they would have gathered out, the women would have gathered in the courtyard and made bread. And this would probably been could be an everyday thing. Sometimes it could last, that they would not have to do it every day. And the passage of scripture that Jesus uses here is like, it tells us that he had 60 pounds of dough, 60 pounds. So this was going to feed 100 to 150 people. Probably, which meant was there was multiple women coming out to bake bread. It's kind of, as I was reading about this, I found out that there are 7 responsibilities that a woman has in the first century that they were required to do for their husbands. 7 things. One of them is to make bread. I couldn't find the rest of them, but I thought, well, that's a good one. I like, it's like, right? Don't you love the smell of freshly baked bread? And so somebody must have thought, hey, we need to work this into some sort of law. Now, the houses were small, about 15 feet square, and the baking would have been made out in the courtyard area, and no doubt the workload would have been shared, and so these women had gone out there and shared the expense and the cooking responsibilities. A little bit of flour, Jesus says, is transformed by some yeast or by leaven. And there would be, and then what they would do is hold back a little bit of leaven, a little bit of the dough that had been transformed by the leaven, and hold that back so that the next time they can inject that into the dough as well, and that would be the process.